recording stuff. All right. So let me share my slides. And before we start, let's do a little bit of a Simran. Wah, tummy in, listen to your voice. Guru, tummy out, listen to your voice. Aao ji. Wah, Guru, Wah,
Why, Guru,
Wah,
why, Guru,
Wah,
why, Guru,
Guru, Wah, 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 Guru, Guru, Wah, 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 Guru, Vahguru, 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 Vahguru. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਕਿਰਪਾ with the ਕਿਰਪਾ of ਧੰਨ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰੰਕਾਰ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ it's very difficult to talk about lust especially because when we talk about lust mostly people think about lust as in the sexual desire. But in Gurbani, Kaam is not just related with the sexual desire. The Vasna, another word for Kaam, the lust is Vasna in Punjabi or in Hindi, even in Sanskrit, it's the same word. There are three different types of Vasna, high level. One is called Devasana, which we are here to talk about. De as in this physical body, Sharir. Second one is the Lok Vasana. Lok Vasana is when somebody praises us. When we look for praises from people, from the society, from our social circle. ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਤਾਰੀਫ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਬੰਦਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ nobody is like him or her that's called lok vasana and then there is a third one which is called a shastra vasana. For example, if somebody says I have a great knowledge of scriptures, any religious scriptures or any academic thing also, that I have a knowledge. It may or may not be a Brahm Gyan, but a Gyan, some kind of a knowledge. And a lot of people who are walking in the path of spirituality, they attain so much Gyan, so much wisdom, they forget the purpose of our life. We all know what is the purpose of our life. Pai Prapat Manuk Dehuriya ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਮਿਲਨ ਕੀ ਇਹ ਤੇਰੀ ਬਰੀਆ ਅਵਰ ਕਾਜ ਤੇਰੇ ਕਿਤੇ ਨਾ ਕਾਮ ਮਿਲ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਭਜ ਕੇਵਲ ਨਾਮ. You got this physical body to meet Vaheguru. पई प्रापत मानुक देहरिया गोविंद मिलन की एह तेरी भैया. This is your chance. But when Vaiguruji created us, gave us this opportunity to have a physical body, a human body specifically, he also created two things. From the mouth of Vaiguru, which we say Ik Oankar, from the mouth of Vaiguru, one is Ik, Ong, the sound came, which created the whole creation. Kita pasao, eko khwao, tiste hoye lakh dariyao. Now the creation which was created, the creation also, the first thing in the creation which was created was called Pavan. What is a Pavan? Pavan is air. One of the five elements which we have: air, water, fire, earth, and sky. That's why I have a picture in front of you. All these five elements are in the form of the chakras also in our body. There's a little bit of an explanation. You probably already know what is a chakra. Chakra is a connection between the physical body and the subtle body. We have two bodies. One is a physical body, high level, and then there is a sukham body. The connection between the two is called a chakra. It's basically a circle sort of a stuff. It's kind of a bridge between a physical body and the subtle body. That's why Maharaj in Gurbani says, Dehi Gupta Videhi Dise. And the physical body which you see, it is called Dehi, but that's not a real Dehi. Maharaj says the real Dehi is Gupt. Dehi Gupta Videhi Dise. What you see is actually a Videhi. It's not a real body. The real body is hidden. It's Sukham. The definition Maharaj gives us is Sukham Murat Naam Niranjan Kaya Ka Akar. So from the mouth of Vaiguru, there are two things which are coming. One is that sound, that Naam, which is in everybody. Naunid Amrit Prab ka Naam Dehi mein iska Vishram. Now, whenever you hear the word Dehi mein iska Vishram, that means Maharaj is not talking about the physical body. Shreer di gal nahi kar rahe. Shreer ch nahi naam pya. The the naam, that shabad, is not in the physical body. We have to understand that. Because if you will do a scan or an X-ray of a physical body, you're not going to see the naam. That doesn't mean that Gurbani is a lie. That means we are not understanding. Sukham Murat Naam Niranjan Kaya Ka Akar. That Naam Niranjan, that Shabad, that sound, that Prakash, that light is in the Sukham Dehi. The problem is our mind is wandering. And why our mind is wandering? Maharaj says, Jon chhad jo jag mein aayo, lagat pavan khasam bisrayo. When we came from our mother's womb, what has happened is, because we get connected with pavan, with the breath, with the air. When we get connected with the pavan, when we get connected with the air, we forget Vaheguru. Otherwise, when we were inside in the womb of the mother, ਜਦੋਂ ਮਾਤਾ ਦੇ ਕੁੱਖ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੀਗੇ, we were remembering Vaheguru. ਉਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਯਾਦ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੂੰ. But as soon as we came out of our mother's womb, we forget Vaheguru and we connected with the Pavan, because we need, Pavan is air, breathe, meaning everybody has to breathe. The physical body, that's why Pavan is also called a Guru. We read it Pavan Guru. Now, why the Pavan is a Guru? Because this physical body needs it to survive in this physical world. And as soon as our mind is connected with the Pavan, our body is connected with the Pavan, so Maharaj says that means you are connected with the Maya. We read it every day in Anand Sahib. E man chanchla, chaturai kine na paya. Chaturai na paya kine tu, sun man merya. E maya moni, Jin eth param pulaya. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ the moment this pavan, this maya is stuck, our mind starts wandering. Mind loses the control, or mind comes out of the controls or control of the Naam, of the Vaiguru, of the Shabad. Because when the baby comes out, the first thing what happens is his or her umbilical cord is cut, meaning the connection with the mother's womb is no longer there. As soon as that happens, Maharaj says, Liv chudki lagi Trishna, Maya Amar Vartaya. Live as in we were connected with Vaiguru. And as soon as we get disconnected, and that's why babies cries and people think, oh, the babies are crying and all that stuff, they are in pain and all that. They are in pain because now they are disconnected with Vaheguru, with the God, with Allah, with the Ram, whatever you want to say. As soon as we get disconnected, the kids, the babies, they will start crying. ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਸਾਡਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਮਾਤਾ ਦੇ ਉਦਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੀਗੇ, when we were in the womb of our mother, we were remembering Vaheguru. We were in direct connection with the Vaheguru. But now we got disconnected. And as soon as we get disconnected, all of our relatives and friends, they start surrounding us. Oh, such a cute baby and everything. They distract us more and more, more and more. It's not their fault. That's how the society is. But we are disconnected. And we think everything which we have, the food which we have, the things which we have, they are the real, and we forget the real purpose of our life. ਸਾਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆਹੀ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ, ਜੋ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ whatever we see around, we think it's real. And when baby grows, different kind of lust starts coming in. That's our topic today. Different types of lust. Kamna, not just the sexual desire. Obviously babies don't have a sexual desire till the time they reach the teenage or the adolescent age or whatever you want to say, right? But before that, still there is a lust. There is a lust of toys. There is a lust of food. First lust is mother's milk. So we have to understand how our body is structured before we can even dive into the lust. These five doots, these five thieves which are there inside our body, Maharaj says, is dehi andar panch chor vase, kaam krodh lo moh hankara, amrit lute manmukh nahi buje, koi na sune pukara. These five thieves which are there inside our body are given to us for a purpose. They are not bad. काम माड़ी चीज नहीं. Having a sexual desire is not a bad thing. But having a sexual desire at the right time, at the right point is important. Otherwise, the reproduction will not go on. This world will not go on. And that's why we have to understand this game, the full game. And in subsequent lectures, these things will be more and more clear. But high level, the picture you see on your screen, Maharaj says, खट नेम कर कोठड़ी बांधी बस्त अनूप बीच पाई कुंजी कुल्फ प्राण की राखी करते बेर न लाई ए मन जागत रहो रे भाई गाफल होए को जन्म गवायो चोर मूसे कर जाई. कहते this body has 6 chakras.
I can't see or hear anything. Let's do Simran until Faisal rejoins us. I think it might be with the internet. Guru, Y, 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 Guru, I, 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 I, Guru, 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 Guru, I, 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 I, Guru, I, Guru, I, Guru, I, Guru, I, Guru, I, Guru, I,
हाँ
Guru.
जी, वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. I don't know where did I left. Sorry, I was keep on speaking. I just got a message from her B that I got disconnected. So, what was the
Uh,
last thing which I was saying? Sorry about that, Guru Pyareo.
भाई जी आप जी कह रहे थे कि that in order to understand Vashna, you gave the example of Bella, Kaam is mother's milk,
Oh wow,
and
that's
then
way.
yeah, and then you were talking about the chakkars, and then it got
Yeah,
video got cut.
got it, got it. Okay, can you make me a admin again so that I can share the screen? Because it says only host can share the screen. Sorry, Guru Pyareo. आओ निधर आप सिमरन करिए. Why, Guru? 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 Why, Guru, Vah, Guru, Vah, Guru, Vah, Guru, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So yeah, so you're talking about the six chakras. Khat name kar kothadi bandi bas tanu beech pai. Kunji kulf pran ki rakhi. So here the Vaheguru Ji Maharaj used the word pran. He never used the word here apavan. Sometimes it's good when we get disconnected. Otherwise, I would have forgotten that point. Now, Vaheguru is giving me that thought. Maharaj has used the word pran, not the pavan. Pavan is the air, the breath. Pran is something else. Actually, in yoga and all, there are three or four different types of pranas. We are not going to go there because we have to understand Guru's mat, right? Pran is a combination of two things. Underneath our root chakra, जिथे साडा root chakra है ना, where the navel is there, just below that, there, Mooladhara chakra, there is a gand. There is a connection between a subtle body and the physical body. There is a knot. Gand as in no, knot. There is a knot between the physical body and the subtle body. The definition of subtle body was Sukham Murat Nam Niranjan Kaya Ka Akar. That Nam Niranjan is in the Sukham body. Physical body has a pran. When the pavan goes away, sorry, it has a pavan, air, breath. When the air goes away, we are dead. We are no longer, if we are not breathing, we are no longer there. Now, when the pavan and nam goes together, it is called pran. That nam is a part of the subtle body, and the pavan is the part of the physical body. And Maharaj says, Kunji kulf pran ki rakhi karte ber na lai. That kunji and kulf. Kunji is a lock and key. The lock and key is made out of pran. Pran di bani. Kunji vi te kulf vi. Meaning, it is a combination of a naam and pavan. Air is needed for the physical body, naam is needed for the subtle body. Naam is there in the subtle body. But to receive the naam, to understand the naam, we have to cross these five elements, these five chakras. We'll directly go to the point here because the point here which we are discussing, and we can discuss in the later lectures. More and more clarity will be there in future lectures. But to understand where the Kaam is there, where the Vasana is there, where the desires are there, not just the sexual desires. Sexual desire is the most prominent desire. Most prominent. Sab to important. And that's the second chakra from the below. Above the navel. Where our navel is there, just above that. That's where the Kaam is there. If we are able to cross that, practically, if you will experience this, whenever we have a sexual desire in particular, specifically, you will see there is some energy movement going on in your legs, underneath the Mooladhara, where our genitals are there, that place. There's a lot of energy there, which is stuck. With Vaiguruji's Kirpa, remember this word, Kirpa, Gur Prasad. It's not in our hands. Manvas ave nanka je puran kirpa hoye. When we do Sasgra Simran, jo Sasgra ste ay mera har har so gur se guru man pave, this same energy, it starts going up. What is that energy? That's our mind. On mind, our focus will start going up. From the root chakra, it will go to the Agya chakra. I don't know if I've opened my camera. Let me check it again. Not, I think. Can you see me, Guru Pyare? Hanji, anybody? Can you see me? Yeah. So from this navel, when you go up there, this is the Agya chakra. We have to go slow.
We could see you, but now we can't.
Oh, really?
Now we can see.
Oh, maybe when I go for a slide, it just goes away. It's okay. Let's focus on the slide itself then, mostly. Yeah. So we have to go up, up, up and up. Our focus has to go up. How it goes up? With the help of the Sasgira Simran. Wah, Guru, Wah, Guru, Wah, Guru. When we do that, our focus, our when our focus is on in the tun, in the sound. Maharaj says where we have to put the dhyan. Tun mein dhyan, dhyan mein janya, gurmukh akat kahani. On our own sound. Gaviye, suniye, man rakhiye, pao. Then only this thing will clear up. Now, somebody asked me a beautiful question way back. They said, if you have so much sexual desire, how can you do the Simran at that point of time? You will not even feel like doing it. And that's absolutely right. Absolutely right. When we are stuck in the Tamogun, our mind is full of thoughts related to sexual desire, then we'll not be able to do it. The Simran, we will not be able to do it. Sasgira Simran, Antargat Simran, no, we cannot do it. Then we have to learn from the Kal. What does Kal do? Kal or a death or a time, which is a governor of this Maya. Tragun Kale ki Sarkara. This Maya's governor is Kal. You know, what does Kal do? Whenever we are thinking of doing the Simran, Kal will change our thought. Kal will say, think about lust, think about greed, think about anger, think about attachment, think about ego, think about anxiety, think about worries, depending upon our situation, whatever is going on in our life. What we have to do at that time is, I don't have a diagram for that, but there is a connection. The Trigun Maya, we have three parts of the Trigun Maya: Tamogun, Rajogun, and Satogun. Now, what is Tamogun? Tamogun is just what we are talking about: lust, greed, anger, attachment, ego. Rajogun is the worldly thoughts, anxiety, worries, all this kind of a stuff, depression, these thoughts. Whenever you are stuck with these lusty thoughts, lustful thoughts, a lot of sexual desire is there in our mind, change your thought first. Change it to Rajogun. Start thinking about, oh, I didn't pay my mortgage. Oh, I didn't do that. Then what is going to happen is your mind is going to shift from lust to something in the Rajogun. From Rajogun, there is a body. There is a body in the Rajogun. There is a step, there is a ladder from Rajogun which will go to the Sattogun. What is Sattogun? Good thoughts, peace, contentment, and all. From Rajogun and from the Sattogun, you can do the Simran. From Tamogun, it's very difficult. You can only do the Simran in in Tamogun, which is lust, greed, anger, attachment, ego, when you come to the Sangat. That's the only way. But if you don't have an access to the Sangat, what are you going to do? Change your thought first. Learn from the Kal. Play their game. Understand that game. Now, to understand that the whole game, there is a beautiful story, Puratan story. This is not something which I made this story. There was a guy in the old days, there was a guy, his name was Mohan. His name was Mohan. Now, Mohan was just a normal guy, an average guy. He completed his education, and his mother was a princess maid of a princess in some kingdom, not known. This is an old story. He goes there to meet his mother. When he goes there, he's going around in the kingdomship, and guards are not stopping him because he tells us that his mother works here, so guards let him go inside. But rather than going to the right place where his mother is there, he's just going around, and he saw the princess there. When he saw the princess, and the princess is very beautiful, very beautiful. At least he thinks she's very beautiful. When he sees her, just like people normally say in the worldly language, love at first sight. मैंने ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਿਆਰ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ. Now, when he sees her, and then her mother also comes, and first the princess says, who are you? What are you doing here? And he says, my mother works here and everything. That's why I'm here. And when he goes back, his mother says, "You should not be here. Let's go back home." They go back home. And when they go back home, mother says, "What's going on with you? Why you were looking at the princess so badly? I mean, your eyes had a lot of, I could see it from your eyes." And that's something which need to be learned. When you will see somebody has a lusty eyes, ask the ladies. They will tell you. They know what is going on in their eyes. They can understand because eyes are the reflection of the mind. Whatever goes in our mind, it can show up in our eyes. So he says, "No, no, no, no. I know I have fallen in love with the princess. I was not doing anything wrong." She says, what are you talking about? I mean, they are royal family. We are poor people. I'm her maid. How can you fall in love? Even if you fall in love, you're not never gonna get married. He says, "I know." He says, "I know I can't get married. But what is the benefit of getting married if I don't love somebody?" Now the question is, and this is a question for everybody, it's just inside question. What is love? Is the physical attraction is a love? Just looking at the somebody's physical beauty, is it a love? You have not spoken with that person, you have not spent time with them, you don't even know them. How come it is a love? Because we watch so many, especially Bollywood movies or even any movies, right? There is a concept of famous concept of girlfriend and a boyfriend and everything. Everybody, like the youngsters, they are looked down upon when somebody says, "Oh, you don't have a girlfriend, you don't have a boyfriend." You know, it has become a society's norm these days that somebody has need to have a girlfriend and a boyfriend. So same thing. Mohan's mother, as in the maid, asked Mohan, "What did you saw in her?" And he said, "Mother, don't ask me all these questions. I know I'm not going to get married with her, but I'm not going to get married with anybody because this is the only girl I like. This is the only girl I love." And he says, "Can you at least arrange my meeting with the queen?" He says, "What are you talking about? I know her, but she's not going to even get ready for that." But somehow she is able to arrange a meeting with the queen. And Queen says, "It's okay, don't mind." He says, "I understand that youngsters get attracted, but I have few questions." Because those days, there was a concept of Swambar. Swambar? Swambar. Swambar. The Swambar is the process where they call a lot of males, and the girl has to select a male. Other way out. Girl has to select a male to get married. Says, but he's not even part of that eligibility list because he doesn't belong to a royal family or anything. But it's okay. I will still call him. And Queen says, "I can get you married with my wife, with my daughter. But first tell me, what did you like about her? What did you like?" He says, "She's beautiful. Her eyes are like a fish, and her lips are like something, and this and all that stuff." And he says, "What else?" He says, "Everything about her is beautiful." I said, "Okay, that's fine. I understand that." He said, "I can get you married with my daughter." The queen says that. With my daughter, as in the princess. And when the mother hears that, the maid hears that, she says, "Really? You can get my son married with a princess? Are you sure?" He said, "Yeah, but I have conditions." "What are the conditions?" Queen says that Mohan has to stay for at least 1 year in a room in the palace, and he cannot go in and out of the room until or unless I authorize something. The food he has to eat, the books which he has to read, I will tell him what to read, or I will send people to teach him all these things, whatever he wants to get educated for, whatever I require him to do. He cannot do anything on his own. For 1 long year, he asks Mohan, Mohan, are you ready? Are you ready to do all these things? Tu karenga chicha? Mohan says, yes, I'll do it. Now Mohan now stay there for 1 year. They feed him the sattvic food, sattoguni food. What is sattvic or sattoguni food? Basically, no meat, no eggs, no alcohol, right? And not even garlic or onion in those days, right? Anything which they think is a tamasic food. Now, what is a tamasic food? Tamoguni food. Tamoguni food is which actually aggravates your five thieves, which increases the lust, which increases the greed, which increases the anger, lusty food, and all that stuff. Tamoguni khana. And then not just the physical food, they gives him the knowledge of the shastras, the wisdom of the scriptures. Those days there were Vedas, so they teach him everything about Vedas, about meditation, how to do meditation also. Every day his routine is from morning till evening is like that. And a year has passed very happily. He's not complaining. And then Queen calls Mohan. He says, okay, you are successful. You passed my test for 1 year. Are you ready to get married with my daughter? Mohan says, no. Which marriage? Mohan rejects the marriage. Sorry, there are spelling mistakes here. Because Mohan realizes something. Mohan realizes that he was attracted to the physical body of the princess, not exactly her mind. And he also understands about himself that he is not the physical body. Because this physical body is going to perish. सारा कुछ खत्म हो जाएगा. But that realization can only come when we will come in the Sangat. When our habits will be like different. It's like Guru Gobind Singh Ji's quote, I always remember this. Alap ahar sulapsi nindra. The ahar which we have to do, the food which we have to do, we have to eat little food. Only the food which we require, our body requires, not too much. That's also a lust. Having too much food and all that stuff, that's also a lust. Collecting so much money in the world, that's a greed. That's also a lust. Lust for the money, that's also kamna. And because the combination of these things, when we don't get it, we get anger also. What Mohan learns from his spiritual lessons is the three types of vasana. I know we are discussing about the day vasana, but there are three highly most important vasana which we all have to learn. First is the lok vasana, that if we are appreciated by this the society, when we when people praises us, ਜਦੋਂ ਲੋਕੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਬੜਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਬੰਦਾ, ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ, he's a very nice person, we get happy. That's also lust, because we want everybody to praise us. When somebody says bad thing about us, we get angry. That's a vasana. Then there is a day vasana, which is our topic, sexual desire. Because we think we are a physical body, and we think our physical body can be happy only if we will be connected with another physical body. And it doesn't have to be, another opposite sex. It can be transgender, it can be a same sex, whatever it is. But it is all this devasana. De as in the body, physical body. Devasana. But remember, at the start we discussed, who are we? Dehi Gupta Pidehi. This is not the real day. We have forgotten E Maya Moni Jin Et Param Pulaya. We are in doubt. We think we are physical body. That's why we get attracted with the physical body. When this wisdom will be embedded in our mind, when we will do Simran, when we will do meditation, when it will be embedded in our mind, I am not the physical body, then the Dev Vasana will no longer be there. There are few things which are allowed, 100% allowed, even if you are walking on the spiritual path. Char Padarth. And one of the Char Padarth is Kaam. But within the boundaries of the Taram. If we have a Taram, out of the Char Padarth, there is Earth, Taram, Kaam, Mokh. The three Padarths, one are each part of a different gun. Kaam Padarth is part of the Tamagun. Earth Padarth, as in working, doing all these things, studying, it is also allowed. It is part of the Rajogun. It's allowed. Then Taram Padarth, which is part of the Sattogun. If we go on everything based on the Taram, Taram is not a religion. What is Taram? Sarab Taram mein Shresht Taram Harko Naam Jap Nirmal Karam. We can only do the Nirmal Karam, the good Karam, if we have a Sattogun. If we have a Taram. Everything if we do honestly. And even in the family life, in the Grasti Jeevan, if we spend our time with our wife or a husband, it is allowed. That calm is allowed, 100% allowed. If you spend your time in the work dedicatedly, happily, that is allowed. You are not wasting your swas, you are not wasting your breath there. This is something people get confused when they walk on the spiritual path, because we have heard, or the yogis and the sages, they have gone to different places like mountains or forests and all that stuff, and they think it's not allowed. Eating is allowed. Eating good food is also allowed, but the lust for the good food is a problem. Lust for the food is bad. Lust for the calm or the sexual desire is bad. Lust for the sex is bad. Lust for the work is also bad. Because Maharaj says, Hasandya, Khilandya, Penandya, Khivandya, Viche Hove Mukt. Maharaj is not telling us don't laugh, don't have fun. Have fun. Khilandya, play. If you want to play the games and all that stuff, sports and all, it's allowed. Because of the world where it's going in the Pacharaks and all, they think a person has to disconnect totally from the world. That's not what Gurbani is talking us. Gurbani says, Tinni viche maya paya. You live in the Maya, you live in the Grasti Jeevan, you do everything. You play with your kids, you have fun, everything. But remember Vaiguru all the time. Visar nahi datar apna naam deho gun gawa din raat nana chahove ho. Gun gaune. Whatever we do, we remember Vaiguru with it. It's allowed. That's Taram. That's a Nirmal Karam. But the problem is, we get so much. And somebody has so much vasana for the work. Oh, I want to become this, titles and all. And they will do every bad thing to achieve that. They will have greed also, they will have anger also. They will take bribes, they will do corruption to achieve something in the world. That's bad. That's not recommended. That's why we have to understand what vasana is. And some spiritual people, they have a Shastra vasana. They always want to have knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. They don't want to do practical. And what Gurbani teaches us? आओ सारे पढ़ लिए. बाणी गुरु गुरु है बाणी विच बाणी अमृत सारे गुरबाणी कहे सेवक जन मानै परतख गुरु निस्तारे. गुरबाणी कहे सेवक जन मानै Pratak Guru Nistare. Whatever Gurbani tells us, we have to do that practically, not just reading. What is the problem? We keep on reading, 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 reading. We don't understand. We don't apply it. And then we say our problem has not resolved. Problem will be resolved because if we are reading a Sukhmani Sahib part, Maharaj says, Simro simar simar sukh pavo kal klesh tan mahe mitao. It's like you are making a tea. Put a tea leaves, put a water, boil it, and then you put a milk, then you put a sugar, and the tea is ready. Now, if I keep on reading that and I don't go to the kitchen and I don't make a tea, will the tea will be ready? No, it will not be. Very important to read Gurbani, but more important is to understand and apply it in our life. That's what the taram is. Sarab taram mein shresh taram har ko naam jap nirmal karam. Then only our karam will be nirmal. Otherwise, our karams will not be nirmal. Otherwise, our karam will not be nirmal. Our actions will not be nirmal. There's some few points with Vaiguruji's Kirpa I wrote here for practical life. How to get rid of vasana. Any kind of vasana. The first most important thing is recognize your own thoughts. Most of the people, they don't even know that they are thinking. They have thoughts. Thoughts are coming from the left, thoughts are coming from the right, top, bottom, but we don't think. ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਫੁਰਨੇ ਲੈ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. We don't think we are having thoughts. And then don't live in denial. Some people will say, I met today somebody this morning, and that person was saying, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੰਕਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਜੀ, I don't have ego. Most of the people, when you will meet people, they will say they don't have ego. They have the most ego. But we don't have to look into others. We don't have to judge others. We have to look into ourselves. When he told me that, I was thinking about it. Do I have ankar? Yes. But it is a process. It takes time. It takes time. Sangat is the best place. And for the youngsters, I don't know how many youngsters will listen to this or are there in the call. Especially, it's for everybody actually, not just the youngsters. Don't feed your mind with all these things. Stop at the first place. You know what is the biggest problem with the sexual desire and the lust? When we are looking into the Facebook, when we are looking into the YouTube videos or anything, we see something, especially these reels and shorts, something comes, we keep on looking into it. When you see it at the first place, you know you're going to slip, stop there. Right away, stop there. The more you will feed your mind, the more you will have these things in your head. And accept your desires. Yes, you have. But again, remember Char Padaraks. There are things which are allowed. There are things which are not allowed. We can discuss that in the future lecture more. But the Sangat is very important. Sat Sangat. That's why Maharaj says Sat Sangat mile so tareya gur prasad parampad paya suke kaset hareya. If we want to cross this ocean, this scary ocean, full of desires and all, Sangat is the key. Sant jana mil harjas gayo, kot janam ke dukh gavayo. When we come in the congregation, in the company of the holy, when we sing praises, that's the only way. There's no other way. And every action which we do, question it. And remember, Maharaj says, don't get anxious, don't get worried, rise above that. And the only way to rise above that is again coming into the Sangat. And read that literature. Remember, Mohan, they fed him 1 year only that literature, only those books which are spiritual in nature, which he at the end he said, yes, I recognize I I had a physical attraction, not exactly a love, a lust. And be ready to accept that. Most of the people, they live in denial. And then, because of the chotha char padarat, the fourth padarat is moksha, which is in the chotha pad, then only we can get into the moksha, liberation. We'll discuss more in the next lecture. आओ जी अपा सिमरन कर लिए for a few minutes. Wah to me in, listen to your voice. Guru to me out, listen to your voice. आओ जी. Wah Guru, 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 Wah Guru. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ Rabir Singh, what I was thinking, if you're still around, what I was thinking, maybe the next lecture we can have half of the lecture and half Q&A, and then we can decide from there if we want to continue with the same topic or we move to another topics. Is that okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Rabir Singh? Yeah.
Do you have any time for questions now? Because I'm sure people have.
Yeah, sure. I can take questions right now.
Thank you.
हाँ जी, any questions गुरु प्यारे? कोई सवाल?
वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह.
वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह जी गुरु प्यारे.
Your time, but I think one question is, I don't think people, well, I don't know about everyone else, but you don't really have lustful thoughts on a day-to-day basis. But sometimes you can notice in life, these waves of thoughts will come. Maybe once a month you have this anger. You can notice it's a wave of anger or a wave of lust will come at a certain point, but it doesn't come. It's not a normal thing. So there's this weird kind of scenario where these thoughts build up and then you realize it once it's built up, but it's not a daily thing, you know. So in Gurbani, how does it talk about these waves of thoughts? They don't come every day, but they come when the wave is big, if that makes sense.
So, you know what is the biggest problem? And very good questions, and it depends from person to person. Especially, this is a question if I will take it from the people who actually are doing regular Simran. What happens is we are still trying to control our own mind without the Shabad, right? Because we have some things in our mind, we think this is right, this is wrong. We have misunderstood the Gurbani. That's why we were talking about the Char Padarat. Char Padarat je ko mange saat jana ki seva lage. That Char Padarat, understanding the game of four Padarats is very important. There are things which are allowed. If we put your swas there, it is 100% allowed. Otherwise, you and I will not be standing here, right? If the reproduction is not allowed, we will not be standing here, right? So any thought which we are getting, we have to understand whether that thought is a lust or not. And that's why sangat begins at home. That's why Maharaj told us to live in grasti, grast marg, right? Grast marg is not just for the reproduction. Some people have this idea also that it is only for the reproduction. Grast marg is a companionship, right? Anger comes when we don't get whatever we want. And this is something which we have to, understand from the Gurbani. And I think, I don't know if you were there before or not. Whenever these thoughts comes, learn the game of Kal. Kal always distracts us. These five dudes, they are sitting here. Even if you try to cross this place, they are sitting here, they will push you down by bringing you some kind of a thought. And just like you said, the thoughts are building up, building up, building up. We are suppressing them with our own actions, the way we want to suppress them. And then there's a blast which happens, the waves which will come of these thoughts. But if we will learn the game of the Kal, if we have anger, Maharaj says in Gurbani, Kaam, Krodh, Kaya ko galle. If we have so much lust of Kaam, and if we don't get Kaam, we will have a Krodh. We'll have an ego. Acha, mainu nahi milya. Why me? Why not me? I'm married to that person. Because this is which have been built up in our mind that it is our right, that even having a companion, it is our right that if I want something, the other person is also. We have to change our thought. And the thought can only be changed in the Sangat, with the Gurmat, or learning the game of call. Move from Tamogun to Rajogun. Make yourself busy, especially for the youngsters who are not married and all. Play some game, you know. Get interested in game. Go to the gym or something. I don't want to suggest people. Maybe Harbi Singh can tell people how to go to the gym and all. I'm a fat guy. That would be hypocrisy. but but you know what I mean, right? We have to change our thought process. We have to think about our physical body also. We have to eat well. We have to take care of ourselves. And trust me, these things really help. It's a practical thing. It's a day-to-day thing. And the improvement will happen with Vaiguruji's Kirpa. है ना? But what we have been taught by the preachers is wrong. Na tusi ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ, ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ. From the childhood, we have been taught, don't get involved in, Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar. This is good, but Maharaj is saying these five are your servants. You are not their servant, they are your servants. Sagal Shrestha ke panch sikdar, Bhagat Jana ke Panihar. We have to use them when we require it. For example, to give you an example, another example, if there is a child or a kid or doing is misbehaving, we have to tell them, right? Sometimes we have to even raise our voice a little bit, right? We have to explain them what is right or wrong. Otherwise, we'll say, oh no, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਉਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਹੋਣ ਦਿਓ ਹਨਾ no, that's not an anger, that's a duty which we have to do. But if we keep on being angry all the time, that's where the problem is. So it's kind of a, we have to come in the center. We have to come in the center, not this way or that way. And practically, if we'll see, we can learn. We have to talk with people, we have to listen. The problem is we don't listen to people. Sune dukh paap ka nas. Listen, not just listening the shabad, not listening the naam. We have to listen to the people also. ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਗੱਲ ਤੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਦੂਜੇ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ. That's also a problem. When we will behave the way Gurmat wants, Gurmat is very easy. Very easy. It's fun. Right? Maharaj says, just like we quoted before also, Hasandeya, Khilandeya, Penandeya, Khivandeya. What is Hasandeya? Laughing, having fun. Khilandeya, playing games and all, sports or whatnot, right? Khivandeya, eating. Now some people will say, oh, I don't want to eat, I don't want to go to the restaurant, I don't want to eat food. That's also bad. Right? What happens if, for example, there's a partner, so one partner is saying, I want to go to a restaurant, I want to go to Starbucks, want to have a coffee and all. The other was saying, no, 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 we can't eat out. That's where the problem is, the anger will come. Why can't we do that? Why other people can do that? Right? So Maharaj is not saying don't go to the restaurants or don't go to the Starbucks or anything. Do it, but in moderation. Everything should be in moderation and see whatever is required. If you don't have a money in the pocket, you are going there, then obviously it is, you know. So everything in the balance. Khivandya, that's what the Khivandya is, right? Kanandya is you can wear good clothes. Viche hove mukt. Saying there, there's a game, there's a boundary of char padarat. If we stay in that boundary of char padarat, we will not have any problems. I hope that answers your question. It's a day-to-day thing, Guru Pyare. Very good question. Thank you. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji. Hanji, any other question, Guru Pyare?
Yeah, I have a question. It was actually Darshko's Nani, and it's slightly off topic, but she was talking about Kamal Ful, and she was talking about lotus flower is turned upside down, saying that it has to be turned the right way around. And I didn't understand what she was talking about.
Yeah. Nab Kamal. Huh? That's basically a mind sits here in the navel. That's what when the first diagram was there. That is a Nab Kamal. That's a lotus. It's actually mindset there. Mind is like this right now. Mind is going down, 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 down. That's why when we do Sasgara Simran, when we say tummy in, tummy out, what we are doing is old Kamal jada na Kamal nu siddha karna hai. It has to go up like that. That is our mind will start going up rather than going down. Otherwise, if it is going down, it is going to Patal Lok. What is Patal Lok? Patal is basically underneath the either worlds, right? Which is a hell basically. That means our mind will be in Tamogul all the time. When the Kamal will be Siddha, mind will start going into the Sattvagun. And from the Agya Chakra, it will go to the Chautha Path. Make sense, Rabbi Singh?
Hanji, so what are the signs that your Kamal Ful is?
3 chakras are very important to cross. This is my personal experience. The 3 below chakras are all, it's very important to cross these. And that will happen with Vaiguruji's Kripa when we'll do the Sangat. Right? Day to day life, you will know. Check yourself. Accept your, if we have problems, accept it. We have made these things difficult. They are not difficult, they are easy. They're very easy. We say, oh, you can only put your Shwas in the Naam. But what is Naam? What is the Shabad? It starts with Akri Naam. When we do everything remembering Vaheguru, any step we take, Maharaj nu Hajar Najar Rakhe. This is good. And slowly and steadily, automatically there will be very less anger. If your anger has reduced, that means your Kamal is almost getting Siddha. Anger is the biggest thing. Ego is the biggest thing. Home naave naal virodh hai. Doye na bas ek tha. If you have too much ego, and we don't have to tell others I don't have an ego, you will know for yourself. Kise galti aa rahi hai. And my family always used to tell me, or still tells me sometimes, right? Oh, you teach to everybody, but you have a lot of home. So your partners, your people around you, your family, your friends will tell you. Listen to them. Don't get upset. And if you're getting upset, that means the Kamal is still not Siddha. Sometimes we feel like, oh, they're just telling us. No, they're not telling us. That's a reality. That's what we were behaving. Right? Slowly, it's like Adaniyaga, like that the Kamal is like this, and immediately it is like that. Slowly, slowly, it starts turning up, 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 up. And once we cross these lower 3 chakras, we start going into the Hirda chakra. What is Hirda chakra? That heart chakra when we have a lot of love for others. Not the attachment. Because attachment is only for your kids and your family. Love will be for everybody. Jin prem kiyo tin hi prapayo, right? The love will be there. That means now our Kamal is really going in the right direction. And whatever we will say from our throat chakra, we will say the good words, will not hurt people, whether we like them or dislike them. That means our Kamal is Siddha. Mind will be in peace, mind will be in content. Right? ठीक है गुरु प्यारे.
Anyway, thank you so much. Vaiji, just one more question. I find like in the Western world, I don't know, I think social media is a contributing factor, but it feels like the exposure to stuff is so bad, like
Yeah. Yeah.
and just like unimaginable things, or it's just happening day to day. And how do you stay afloat when so many crazy things like the Epstein thing? There's so many like really bad things that potentially, if you were back in the bin, you wouldn't really know about or have exposure to. So it doesn't even come into your head. That and then, but living in the Western world, you're constantly hearing about this happened or this, or even with my.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How do you kind of not let that affect you, or just kind of put blinders onto it so you don't hear,
Right, right.
see anything?
Two things, Guru Pyaro. This is what I have seen. First of all, it's not a problem of Western world. Actually, we live in the Western world. It's better. Now I'm visiting India right now. From last 1 month, almost 1 month, I'm in India. Here it is worst, but people are live in denial. They don't say it. They don't speak. But you will see the Bollywood movies and all. They are showing the same things. Whatever is happening in the Western world. At least these movies and this whatever is happening in the political scenario, it's a reflection of our own society, right? Knowing these things is not bad, but again, looking for these things in our day-to-day life is bad. We have to just ignore them. That's the only way, because we have to live in this society. We have to live in this maya. We can't just leave this society and go to the jungle or forests or wherever, or mountains or somewhere. We are going to see all these things. So I think the best way is to ignore. Stay in the Sangat. Stay in the Sangat is the most important, right? Ignore these things because we cannot change it. It's not in our hands. And that's why the surrender is there, surrender towards Vaheguru, right? And to be honest, right, you will start, and you probably are already experiencing it. Vaheguruji will talk with you inside, right? He will tell you what is right, what is wrong. Bani Prab ki sabko bole, right? You will know what is right and what is wrong. And more we will stop feeding these, especially these reels and all these things. They are worst. We are feeding our mind. It's very difficult to come out of the lust and all these things. We'll start keep on thinking about these things. More we reduce our time in these things and start connecting with some good books, some good movies also. Why not? Right? Something good, and feed our mind with those things. It will change. It will change. That's why we have to understand. Tamogun is patal lok. Rajogun is also bad, but we have to make sure our mind stays in Satogun. Always Satogun. More our mind will stay in the Satogun, that's where the body is there. More Sahaj, right? Anji. Sorry if I said something wrong. Any other question, Guru Pyare?
Gurudev.
Sorry, Fatehji.
Okay, Ji.
Okay, you can hear me great. I just have two things. One was an observation. Is that if you do the Simran like this, you're talking like a higher pitch. But if you do like this, you can, if like you could talk with like a lower pitch, you can talk better, or it's like, I think it's to do with posture as well. But I noticed I was doing Simran a lot like this. And I think if you lift your head up a bit and you do Simran, it flows a bit better. That was an observation I just wanted to share with everybody. The thing about this thing, I appreciate your answer, about the Epstein thing. He's like a chess player, he gets people, incriminates people like presidents and stuff, people who make software, Microsoft, stuff like that. And then what he does, he uses them as pawns in this drama, in this Galjog. So they're like top players. We think they're top players, but they're not. They're just puppets that are being forced to do things. And then certain things in the media that we get fed, or kind of narratives. But I think with that, it's like, I don't know how people think of what that is going on there, but that's how I think of it, is what's going on. It's like control of people to, like, you have something on somebody and then you can control them. It's like manipulation. So they're doing it on a big like scale that we might not be able to see. So I just want to share that, but I appreciate your answer on that. And that's the two things I wanted to say.
Saat Krishna.
Yeah.
Saat Krishna. Hanji. Hanji, any question or observation just like Paisab did?
Wajiji, if I can ask one more. Last one, I promise. I said, Darshiko's always saying about how, you know, she's like, oh, this person, like, she's talking about us in the family, not random people, but she thinks this person's from this lok and this person's from this lok. Like, if you are from Domogon, or if, you know, obviously we don't know our past lives, and, well, I don't know my past lives. It's like, how much of it is just your personality and your previous garam, that you're like an angry person or a lustful person or egotistical person or a greedy person? How much of it can you change, and how much of it is just, that's just the way you're hardwired, and you're probably gonna struggle with those things and have to try and
You
manage.
can change. You got this physical body just to change everything. Everything. There is a separate lecture of the Karam philosophy. Maybe we can take that when I come on 18th for the camp, 19, 20, 21st, right? There's a full lecture, 1.5 hours of lecture on the Karam, Sanchit Karam, and the Prarabdha Karam, and the present Karams. But high level answer, if we will come in the Sharan, we will surrender to Vaheguru, everything can be changed with Vaheguruji's Kirpa. It's all Kirpa, Guru Prasad. But if we think that, oh, it's my previous, you know, some people say, oh, mere purane karam hai, mere naal te hona hi si. No, that's giving up. That's giving up. No. We got this body to meet Vaheguru, to clean the filth of our mind. Janama hama kalak to hai. This filth which is there in our mind, we were meant to clean this. Mastak ko ve likhya har simar prani. But high level, but we can discuss, go in details. There are many stories into it. I can't answer just in one go, but yeah. Because
Thank
some of these karams, which are the bad karams, they can be, Maharaj can wash that out in our dreams. Supne de vich bhi khatam kar sakde Maharaj. है ना? So yeah. Short answer.
Thank you, Vajiji.
Thank you ji. Vaheguru ji ka khalsa.
Vaheguru ji ka
Vaheguru ji ki fateh ji.
Vaheguru ji ka fateh. Thank you so much.
Khalsa. Vaheguru.